going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. I got a little bit of extra for you. It is July 6th, 2022. I am JD from New York. As always, coming to you from the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Wednesday afternoons, wherever you may be. I have big news on Liv Morgan, what she's doing at SummerSlam, and why Liv Morgan wasn't the number one choice to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. I got the real story right here on Off the Script about what it should have been on Saturday night's Money in the Bank pay-per-view. I also have news on Austin Theory, why he won Money in the Bank over the two other guys that I thought were the right choices in Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle. You could have even made a case for Sami Zayn to win that Money in the Bank briefcase. I got news on that. And I have a potential return to WWE that is so pathetic that I hope that it does not happen. We will go over that right here on OTS. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys go check out all the other videos on the channel and the live streams on the channel, all on the homepage for you. Money in the Bank on Saturday. Money in the Bank was a very good pay-per-view, and I covered it, and I documented all of that for you guys on Saturday night. Monday Night Raw on Monday, and then NXT on Tuesday, which was a rarity for me, being that I've given up covering the show because, let's be real, the show sucks. But last night, it was the Great American Bash. Not that bad of a program. And we were live on YouTube last night, so go check all that stuff out on the homepage for you guys if you missed anything. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below, turn on the bell, and hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes minimum today on OTS. Might as well start off with this WWE return news. And this is very disappointing if you're a fan of WWE or if you are excited about what's to come with all these major stadium shows that WWE has lined up through the duration of the summer. Tyson Fury is in talks with WWE about a potential return to the company, and he could be on television later this summer. Give Me Sport is reporting that Tyson Fury is in talks with WWE regarding a potential return to the company this summer. As of this report, nothing is finalized, and there are no concrete plans to have him on any shows, although discussions have already taken place. The report added that it's also unclear whether Fury's potential return would just be for an in-ring appearance on the show or whether there are also talks to have him wrestle again. Now, Give Me Sport was actually the first to report that WWE wanted to have Fury challenge Drew McIntyre. Oh, man. Challenge Drew McIntyre for the WWE title in the main event of a UK pay-per-view back in 2020. However, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, those plans were all canceled. Fury later then confirmed the report about a UK pay-per-view match with the former WWE champion and revealed he was also supposed to appear at WrestleMania 36 and in SummerSlam 2020. Now, WWE, as you guys know, will hold Clash at the Castle on September 3rd. That is Labor Day weekend. It's going to be a busy Labor Day weekend with that, and then the very next night, we are getting All Out. So it's going to be a very, very busy pay-per-view weekend, that Labor Day weekend. It would be a big get, quote unquote, depending on who you talk to, a big get for WWE. Yeah, we'll go with that, a big get for WWE to get Tyson Fury on the card, as the boxer has publicly expressed interest in appearing at the show. McIntyre has already issued a challenge to Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, and it's going to take place at that Clash at the Castle show, even though WWE has not confirmed that match yet. All I will say about this, Tyson Fury and Braun Strowman, if you guys remember, Tyson Fury was actually in a WWE ring. They booked him for a Saudi show. I don't know which show it was, whether it was named Crown Jewel or Super Showdown, whichever it may have been. Tyson Fury wrestled Braun Strowman, and they had this very inorganic and very forced agenda, this storyline that was not anywhere close to real at all on WWE television. They had some type of issue with each other and some type of dilemma. They tried to play it off as, oh my God, Tyson Fury's poking the bear and Braun Strowman got upset because Fury was sitting at ringside, and then he gets involved and he's throwing these punches as probably the best boxer in the world, Tyson Fury, depending on who you talk to, right? Very subjective thing. Everybody loves what he does and how he handles himself in a boxing ring. Gets in a WWE ring, it never really translates to what we see on pro wrestling television. He's out there throwing fucking these big rights and these big lefts, and none of them really seem to connect. It was very, very, very lame. And somebody with Tyson Fury's pedigree in his own sport coming on into WWE and trying to do some of that and be the superstar that we all know he is, it looks like a joke. It looks like a complete joke. Who would you put him in the ring with? I don't know anybody. I don't have anybody. On a list of that entire roster, I do not want to see him in the ring wrestling, period. The only reason why I say this is because, A, he's not good. And I don't think that he's going to grab the pro wrestling game and get everything he needs to get done and know everything now when they're still in discussion for even an appearance, and then book him for a Saudi show or this UK show, Clash at the Castle. Because they still do have one Saudi show still coming up later this year. Who knows where he may show up? It may be one of the other. So I'm looking at this UK show, and I'm thinking, with him already talking about it and Drew McIntyre already talking about it, it may be at Clash at the Castle. The second thing is, outside of him not really being all that good, his first appearance was a complete fail. I want you guys to understand that with all the celebrity appearances that we've seen already in WWE, and I'm talking about the latest celebrity appearances, Bad Bunny, he was absolutely fantastic in his role. He killed it. Then you got Johnny Knoxville, which I wrote off as a fucking complete joke. Johnny Knoxville went in there, and the match may have been silly, and the match may have been a complete fucking embarrassment. I love Sami Zayn. God bless Sami Zayn for even doing that. It was a talked about match. If you love Jackass, you love what they did in that match. Johnny Knoxville and the Jackass crew handled themselves pretty fucking well, man. These are stuntmen. These are stuntmen. And they went out there and they embraced being a WWE superstar, bumping around, having Sami Zayn throw Johnny Knoxville around and do all the shit that you usually see in a WWE match. They embraced it and they owned up to it. And that performance, yet silly, it was something that I look back on and say, that was not bad as far as celebrity appearances is concerned. Then you got Logan Paul. Going out there on that same weekend during WrestleMania and absolutely stealing the show for him and his team. And he was in a match with Rey and Dominic Mysterio. He blew me away. And then Pat McAfee, we know how good Pat McAfee is. So you look at Bad Bunny, you look at Johnny Knoxville, you look at Logan Paul, and you look at everybody else that has been in a WWE ring lately as far as a celebrity appearance. The bar has been raised for celebrity appearances. And you're going to put Tyson Fury in discussion with a Logan Paul and a Pat McAfee and a Bad Bunny and a Johnny Knoxville. You're going to put him in discussion, and you're going to expect him to go out there and duplicate the great performances that we've seen? I don't think that's possible. And I honestly think WWE's wasting their fucking time. This show is sold out. They don't need Tyson Fury on this show. I would understand that they want to promote Tyson Fury if he was going to have a match and they were struggling to sell tickets. I don't like that aspect of it either. I think that's desperation. But WWE already has this show completely sold out, or it will be a complete sellout. They don't need Tyson Fury on that show. I honestly think that WWE is just seeking publicity and spotlight when it's not really necessary. And the show is going to give them all of that. The presence of them being in that country is going to give them that. Drew McIntyre beating Roman Reigns for the World Championship and having the show end on a happy note is going to be everything that WWE wants it to be. They don't need Tyson Fury for that. I think this is a complete joke. And the level of celebrity appearances and the level of work that we've seen from these celebrities Is Tyson Fury going to measure up to that? I don't think so. I think this is a waste of everybody's time. Shotzi Blackheart. Shotzi Blackheart deleted her Twitter account. This was following her subpar Money in the Bank performance. Shotzi had fans calling for her to be fired for botching some spots in the women's Money in the Bank match. I never claimed when I came on here Saturday that she should be fired. All I said was that I don't know why Shotzi has had a major problem transitioning from NXT to the WWE main roster. There's something there. Now, clearly she documents in what I'm about to read to you what the problem is, and she's having a very difficult time this year. Is WWE really going to sit down and accept that? Or is WWE going to continue to monitor her subpar performance and maybe actively do something about it? Take her off television, send her back down to NXT. Worst case scenario, maybe fire her or get rid of her. I don't want to see that happen. I actually quite enjoy Shotzi Blackheart. I've been calling for WWE to use Shotzi in a more prominent role in a division where they need someone like Shotzi to step up. I don't know what it could be. But all I said on Saturday during my post-show Money in the Bank review is that if this continues to be a thing where she goes out there and gives subpar performances and continues to make mistake after mistake after mistake, I don't know how long WWE is going to actively ignore that without doing something about it. Shotzi said this on Monday in a tweet. There are three things I care about at the end of a match. Is everyone safe? Did everyone have fun? Did the crowd react? Nobody got hurt. We all had a blast, and the Vegas crowd was hot, hot, hot. I felt on top of the world after that match and was so excited to finally have my first hardcore match in over a year. I wouldn't have done anything I didn't practice or thought I couldn't do safely. But I am not a wrestle robot. I am human, and slips happen, especially in a chaotic, unpredictable ladder match. I can take a joke and laugh at myself. One of the first things I said was, I can't wait to see this spot on Botchamania. But comments like, you should be fired, or other terrible things admittedly hit hard. I had to have a few friends wipe the tears from my face and slap some sense into me and remind me who the fuck I am. That being said, all my haters can suck my big, giant, hairy mangoes. End quote. Since her tweet, her Twitter account was deleted/deactivated. Her Instagram account is still online. And she actually said something in regards to deleting her Twitter account. As you guys can see here, she says this in a story on Instagram. I appreciate everyone checking on me, but I swear I'm fine. I've been going through the toughest year of my personal life, so it's deeper than nasty comments, but also Twitter has not helped with my already fragile mind state. Just trying to stay motivated and positive. I am focused on my goals and not what's on the internet. Good for her. Good for her. Deleting Twitter is a blessing. And when you do it and you are away from it, I've done it a few times. It's great. But, people do worry at the end of the day. Deleting it is such a great feeling, or deactivating it is such a great feeling. People are nasty. People live for hatred. People live to make your life miserable. They are fucking irrelevants who have no social life, who live on Twitter, and they immediately go to Twitter to spew their fucking hatred because they have no friends, they have no life, they have no partner, they have no job. This is what they do. They are happy and they jerk off to the 2 or 3 likes that they actually get amongst their small, irrelevant inner circle. And that's exactly what Shotzi dealt with. She dealt with a whole plethora of these certain individuals. I posted a tweet last night while I was watching NXT about Daddy Magic, Matt Menard of 2.0. He's a part of the Jericho Appreciation Society. I retweeted a video that was shown on the Road to Rochester AEW Twitter account or YouTube channel. And they posted a video of this and this promo from Matt Menard, which was absolutely fucking phenomenal. The emotion, the raw emotion in this video was tremendous. Today, Chris Jericho retweeted it. Will Ospreay liked it. Britt Baker liked it because of Jericho retweeting it because he himself knew that it was a great fucking vignette and a great promo by Matt Menard. I can't tell you how many people I had to block because they live for fucking hatred. Oh, it sucks. Oh, this is not real emotion. This guy's a jobber. I don't care what he has to say. You shill for the AEW brand and you shit all over all this bullshit. All this bullshit. I don't know pro wrestling. Man, you must have started watching pro wrestling since 2019. Give me a fucking break, man. I've been watching wrestling since 1982 out of the fucking womb. Who the fuck are you talking about? And who are you talking to? Motherfucker. People live for hatred. Shotzi, there is something going on with Shotzi. Her father passed away this year. I believe other family members in her personal life have passed away. It's tough. It's tough being on the road. It's tough having all that shit happen. You know, people grieve in their own way. She still may be grieving. I don't know what it is. But I wish her nothing but the best. I really do. I wish her that she was at a position on the WWE roster on SmackDown where she was a little bit further along than she is now. But to people go on social media, for people to go on social media and actively call for her termination because of a couple of botches, I'm more concerned why they're happening. I'm not going to sit here and tell Shotzi on social, oh, you suck, bitch. I hope you get fired. No. Come on. This is social media. And she did a good thing by deleting it. Good for her. Good for her. She'll be back when she's back. No reason to worry. She is okay. Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan won Money in the Bank. She cashed in on Ronda Rousey. She's the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Everyone is asking why. Why did Liv Morgan win Money in the Bank? Apparently, Ronda Rousey demanded that Liv Morgan win the SmackDown Women's title at Money in the Bank. You guys know she won Money in the Bank. She cashed in after Natty hurt Ronda's knee, quote unquote, per storyline in the match. Ronda won. She gets up on one leg. Liv Morgan sees an opportunity, and Liv Morgan pins Ronda Rousey and wins the SmackDown Women's Championship. Personal photographer, Michael Mardones took to Instagram with a story and a photo from ringside on Saturday night claiming that Rousey never wanted or ever asked to be SmackDown Women's Champion. Mardones wrote, and I quote, "Respect to Ronda Rousey, who never wanted or asked to be SmackDown Champion and demanded that the most passionate pro wrestler be awarded the most prestigious title in our industry. Hashtag respect at Liv Morgan." Some people, the day this was revealed, claimed that this was just a personal claim and that there is no truth to this story. But it's interesting that it came from somebody who has very, very close ties to Ronda Rousey. Then the news started to unravel about why Liv Morgan won Money in the Bank, and Mr. Mardones was not that far off. In fact, he was 100% correct. Liv Morgan was never penciled in to win Money in the Bank. Becky Lynch was penciled in to win Money in the Bank and take the briefcase into SummerSlam. What she would have done with the briefcase at SummerSlam, nobody knows. There are two things going around right now. One, she would have cashed in on Bianca Belair and got her match against Bianca Belair, getting Bianca back at SummerSlam. That was one option. The other option would be for Becky Lynch to get a match with Bianca Belair without having to cash in. That would have been a little fucking ridiculous. Getting a match with Bianca Belair at SummerSlam, not using that to get the title match, so she would be getting a title match with the briefcase still intact. She would lose to Bianca Belair at SummerSlam. She would go after Ronda, whoever Ronda wrestled at SummerSlam. I don't know what the plan was for Ronda. Maybe Shayna Baszler. I know I pitched Shayna Baszler a couple of weeks back. Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey in a SummerSlam match. I thought that would have been tremendous if they built a real-life story up between those two for SummerSlam. So Bianca and Becky loses, still having the briefcase. Then she goes and tries and cashes in on Ronda. She loses. So Becky would have this storyline arc of she's a loser and that this would be built up and Becky would be built up going into Royal Rumble. She wins the Royal Rumble again, and then she gets Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And we get that match, and that'll be Ronda's last hurrah in the WWE. And we all know it's not a secret that WWE wants to do Becky versus Ronda one-on-one at SummerSlam in Los Angeles. That was the current plan. One of those two directions would have been the current plan. Ronda Rousey apparently said no, Becky Lynch does not need the briefcase. We don't need the briefcase on Becky for her to get to me. So why don't we use this opportunity to build somebody new up and give it to somebody that truly deserves it? And Ronda Rousey pitched Liv Morgan to WWE management, and Ronda got what she wanted. Surprisingly. Ronda Rousey pitched Liv Morgan. They were receptive to it. They accepted it, and they executed it, and they went ahead and gave Ronda what she wanted. Now, I know I shit on Ronda Rousey a lot. Ronda Rousey, she sucks. Her promo ability is completely fucking terrible. She's back only for a paycheck. Blah, 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 and she don't care. I'm going to have to take some of those back because this is a completely different side, a new side to Ronda Rousey that I didn't know really existed. Ronda actually is back, and she showed that she cares more than WWE management does because we've all been asking for Liv Morgan to be moved up the corporate ladder, and it hasn't happened yet. And all Ronda had to do was say, I want Liv, and it was done. So Ronda Rousey clearly sees who deserves it and who doesn't. Ronda wanted to give it to Liv, which is very respectable and commendable. And Ronda apparently never wanted to be champion. It's all Fox and all WWE thinking that with Ronda as champion, it's the right move as far as a PR look for WWE. Hey, look at our women's division. Ronda Rousey is our women's champion. She never wanted that. She knows she doesn't need it. She knows that others could benefit from it, and she doesn't want to hold anybody back. My respect for Ronda actually went up several notches there. She still sucks, but my respect for Ronda Rousey changed from this point on. And I love that story. I think that's great. So what do we do with SummerSlam? Everybody's throwing these big parades for Liv Morgan champion. Oh my God, it finally happened. Again, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news here, but Liv Morgan is not going to hold that championship past the summer. I hope she does, but I don't see it happening. Not with Bayley looming to come back. We don't know what brand she's going to be on. Not with Charlotte Flair coming back. You know she's about to come back. Why does anybody think Liv Morgan's holding on to this championship with Charlotte Flair, the android, about to fucking walk through the power plant and fucking install the latest battery? I don't get it. She's about to go in there and own that division once again because I can't envision Charlotte Flair back on television and not being in a championship program, whether it's for a title or in a championship program challenging for a title. This is what she does. And with Andrade back on television, already for AEW, you know Charlotte's going to be back on television any week now. So what do we do? Apparently the plan is for Liv Morgan one-on-one against Ronda Rousey. I don't even envision that. I don't see a healthy 100% Ronda Rousey per storyline. Knee is all ready to go. Going into SummerSlam as a challenger, and Liv Morgan actually legitimately standing up, having a great shot one-on-one to beat Ronda Rousey. This is where Charlotte Flair gets involved. Charlotte Flair will get involved, and she will be back feuding with Ronda over the SmackDown Women's Championship, and Charlotte will cost Ronda the match at SummerSlam. Liv Morgan will walk out of SummerSlam with the championship. This is just a prediction. She will walk out of SummerSlam with the championship, and we will get a triple threat match at Clash at the Castle. Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And then at that point, Charlotte Flair or Ronda wins the title back, and Liv Morgan's run as champion and her 15 minutes and all the stands on social media, happy as happy could be, you're all going to be disappointed, and it's going to go right back to normal. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but you guys need to get a reality check, and I'll be happy to give you one any day of the week, 7 days a week. Liv Morgan, she also talked about what Ronda told her after she won the championship. She said, "You deserve it." Liv Morgan said, "I've literally worked all my entire life for this." And she told this to Ariel Helwani. "It doesn't feel real to have it in my hands, even though I'm holding it. Even though I see it, I feel it. I can't believe it's mine. You have to kill me to get this out of my hands. This is the greatest moment of my life." So that's a great story there for Liv Morgan. And let me know what you guys think about that down below in the comment section. Finally, guys, backstage news on Austin Theory's Money in the Bank win. He lost the United States Championship to Bobby Lashley, and then he got added late to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, where he was added to the match on screen by Adam Pearce just moments before the match was about to begin. The reason for this was because of Kevin Owens and Ezekiel. There was supposed to be another man added. It was supposed to be Ezekiel. It was supposed to be Kevin Owens, one of the other. And that didn't happen because Owens has been out and not medically cleared. So Theory won the match. He got added just because. He's Vince McMahon's protege. He was awarded the Money in the Bank briefcase, which gives him right to cash in any fashion over the next 12 months against Roman Reigns, who right now holds the undisputed WWE Universal title. Ringside News is reporting that although Theory was a last-minute replacement in the story, he was always scheduled to be in the match, as the plan was for him to drop the United States title before winning Money in the Bank on Saturday to close the show. Bullshit. Austin Theory was never the plan going into the pay-per-view. Never. If he was always the plan, then he would have been added to the fucking match beforehand. If he was always the plan, it wouldn't have been, oh, well, Kevin Owens and Ezekiel, one of these guys are going to get in, and then that was completely wiped clean, and none of that happened, and then all of a sudden when they found that out, which was basically this week, then they added Austin Theory to the match. He was never planned from the beginning to win the match. I don't know how anybody believes that story and believes Austin Theory was always the plan over somebody like Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes before his injury, and Matt Riddle. You could have made, this is what I loved about this field in this year's Money in the Bank. You could have legitimately made claims for Sami Zayn to win Money in the Bank, Matt Riddle to win Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins to win Money in the Bank. You could have even made claims for Drew McIntyre to win Money in the Bank. But they think that Austin Theory was the plan from the very beginning? No. He was not the plan from the very beginning. WWE gave you that, and I'm sure, without a shadow of a doubt, that Austin Theory didn't find out that he was winning the fucking thing until the day of that afternoon. It was always supposed to be Cody. It was always going to be either Cody, and when Cody went down with injury, there is nobody that's going to tell me that Rollins or Riddle were not the right choices. I ranted about this on Saturday. I ranted about this on Monday. Austin Theory winning the Money in the Bank briefcase is not the right time. This year was not the right time. Austin Theory is not the greatest story. He has the briefcase right now, and what is he going to do? Is he going to fail his cash-in? There's a very, very small group of people that have failed their cash-ins. One of them includes John Cena. I don't think that Austin Theory is getting this briefcase and then not going to be the WWE champion. They think that if they put a rocket to this guy and they strap him to the top of the WWE, that's, oh, look, we're creating new stars. No, you're not. You're just shoving somebody down our throat that we want to like, that we know is a huge future piece of this company, but you're asking us to like him way too soon the way you expect us to like him. This is why I would have went with long-term booking in Seth Rollins or long-term booking in Matt Riddle. You could have even did long-term booking with Sami Zayn if you had some fucking creativity on that goddamn team. You could have did Drew McIntyre, who could have used this to cash in a babyface manner at Clash at the Castle and challenge Roman Reigns the way Rob Van Dam did to John Cena at ECW One Night Stand in 2016. The same way that I would have had Big E cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase against Bobby Lashley, winning the fucking title at SummerSlam last year, but WWE opted to go with Goldberg, and that's what they did. Goldberg and Bobby Lashley. Imagine that. That's what they thought was the bigger deal in an already sold-out stadium over giving Big E a proper Money in the Bank moment and a proper career moment and a proper crowning of Big E as WWE champion, man. They don't know what to fucking do with the briefcase and Austin Theory. This year is not the right choice. Thank you guys very much for all your support. Let me know what you guys think down below of all the stories today on OTS Extra. If you did enjoy it, let me know down in the comment section. Hit that thumbs up. 1,000 likes minimum on today's OTS Extra. Follow me on social media. JD from NY206 on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and now an official Cameo partner. Everything you need is linked down below in the description of this very video. And go check out all the other content that you might have missed on the channel. I will be live tonight with Jesse, AEW Dynamite. We got Wardlow challenging for the TNT title, and we got Jon Moxley defending that interim AEW World Championship against Brody King. Should be a damn good show tonight, and I will be live, as always, from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you live tonight with Jesse for AEW Dynamite on Off the Script.